Hey guys, welcome to DevOps School. In this video tutorial, we are going to learn about Docker. It helps us to create, deploy and run applications by using containers. After going through this tutorial, I promise you that the concept and understanding of the Docker will be absolutely clear to you.
But before that, let me ask you a few things. Are you dreaming of a career with higher pay and more responsibilities? Or are you ready to take your skills to the next level this year? Then start investing in DevOps School certification level courses which will help you to emerge skills for a wide range of entry-level roles and as well as higher potential future positions. But with thousands of courses online and in classroom worldwide, finding the right one for your career goals can be difficult. You can consider our courses like Agile Developer, Agile QA, DevOps Certified Professionals, Site Reliability Engineering, DevSecOps, and Masters in DevOps Engineering, where you will have access to well-structured, easy-to-follow course content that has been developed and will be delivered by industry professionals. You can join on our training programs globally through online platforms, and if you are looking for classroom workshops, then we have regular sessions available in Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, Delhi NCR, Mumbai and in Pune. Simply compare our many courses, find the one that suits your style and schedule best and start today.
Use the slides. Okay, so now we will focus on the most important session of the Docker training, and that is how to build image. That's important thing. How to build images. And because so far whatever you have learned, different behavior of containers, working with the containers and stuff like that, that's not we are going to use in the production. We are not going to use it. You must be thinking where we're going to use it, these commands, whatever you have learned so far. Actually, those commands, whatever you have learned so far since yesterday, we are going to use that skills to develop an image, to troubleshoot an image. Okay, that's all. So apart from that, those commands, we are not needed anywhere else. We are not needing anywhere else. That's we need it for that same thing, developing images. So in short, image development is the most important topic what we have here. Okay. So why we learn Docker? Not to run containers, not to create a container. We learn Docker and different commands so we can create an image. Okay. So I hope you have understood the importance of this topic. So can we get into the deep dive into the image now? Are you ready?
Sure.
Okay. So now the question is, what is an image? So anyone would like to tell me what we have learned so far about the image? Anyone remember that? We have spent a lot of time on that conceptual stuff. So what is an image?
It is a file system, nothing but a network of files and
Yeah.
except code it will have remaining.
Yeah, correct. It is image is nothing but a combination of file system. But which file system? Like a root file system, user file system, application file system. So guys, here, yes, a Docker image is made of the file system. Yes, look at this, made up of the file systems, yes, layered over each other. That's the reason actually this file system are layered over each other. That's the reason what we call it layer. So this you see here 3 layers. That means 3 file system. Layer 0, 1 file system. Layer 1, second file system. Layer 3 is a third file system. They are layered over each other. So that is image. That is image. So when you say Jenkins image, you think it's only one image, one file? No, it is a file system combined with multiple layers actually. Okay, so this is the image. All these layers coming together and branding as an image name. Okay, so image name basically is for the human utilization purpose. Let's say we can't remember the 40 character SHA values. Okay, so for human we need a user friendly name. Our memory is wired like that. So we need a name. So for that what we do, we club it multiple layers together and form one image, and that image name which we can identify, for example Jenkins, for example Ubuntu, for example MySQL, Python, Java, this, that. So what you can find in that image? You can find in that image is nothing but a layer. Now the question is, what is layer? Layer is nothing but a file system layered over each other, and that's your image. Okay, now see, you must be wondering, okay, fine, I understood image is having the multiple layers. These layers are nothing but a file systems, but the question is what it contains, each layer or each file systems, what it contains. Look at this. I've been telling you since first day itself. Root file system plus user file system plus application file system. Here you see root file system plus Nginx application and updates of the root file system. All these three file systems are in a separate layer, forming together and creating a one image of, of XYZ, which will contain Ubuntu, Nginx and updates. So did you understand that what is image? Did you understand that? Everyone? Any confusion?
Rajesh, usually we will have only single OS, right? Because based upon the OS kernel only we will be mounting the containers, right?
Ma'am, where is the OS is coming? Because I never ever mentioned in any of the sessions which includes which I talked about OS we have in the what do you say, in the image. Have I ever mentioned?
The difference between VMs and the Docker container is that each VM will have a single OS, whereas in containers we will have a single OS and on top of it we will run the containers.
So single OS, when we say it's a host machine OS, no? On top of that, I always said container is nothing but something like a user, but special user, which has their own MNT, own paid and network. I never said container is a operating system, because operating system has kernel, and kernel files, which is, you can typically call it a boot file system, you do not have in the image. You can see here the last image, which is the very first layer, is root file system, not a boot file system. Boot file system is equal to kernel, you can say. So I don't know where I stated. So are you getting my points? Is it clear?
Okay, yeah. What is the difference between boot file system and a root file system?
I think you missed lots of session in that case, because now it's very difficult to go back. That's the reason I was insisting everyone to focus. Let me
just a gist would help.
just a second. Hold on. See here. So root file system is basically have you seen this kind of file system? Have you seen this one? This stuff?
Yes.
They are called root file system. Now boot file system is your kernel actually. You will not get image for it probably. You can see that kernel GitHub. Go to the GitHub and you can see the kernel files. So these are the this. So boot file system you cannot see from your eyes while runtime, but you can see the code in github.com. Look at this image. It's a very good image. Look at this. Let me open up big one. See here. Look at it very carefully. See what you have. Kernel. Kernel has what? C groups, namespace, device mapper. I told you all this thing in the first half itself. Then on top of that, what you have? Ubuntu. That's called root file system. On top of that, what we have? Emacs, some software. On top of that, what you have? Apache, some software. Like that. These are the layers of file system. Understanding this?
Yeah, Rajesh, thanks.
Okay, guys. So this is an image. So again, back to the same topic. Image is nothing but a consist of multiple file systems. Each file system, we call it layered. Why? Because these are layered over each other. Whereas bottom file system is called root file system. On top of that, any file system you have, it may contain the files related to application and user. Okay. Am I making sense to everyone?
Yeah.
Everyone?
So Rajesh, I have a question.
Yeah.
So all the images will contain this Ubuntu and then Nginx and this update. So we told like the images are specific to each OS, right? OS dependent. Already we are downloading the image, right? We are creating the image, right? So all the images will contain these layers.
No. I never said image depends on the OS specific. I said very clearly, someone had asked this one. I said image is specific to architect specific. There is a difference between OS and architect. Okay. Architect like the 64-bit architecture, 32-bit architecture, IBM architecture, Windows architecture. So those images have been built according to
Morning you told, Morning you told that details.
Yeah, correct. Got it?
Okay. And images will contain, right? Each image should contain.
See, I'll tell you one statement actually that will clear your confusion and many of you. Guys, when we say operating system, actually what is happening, there is only one kernel in the whole world. Okay, only one kernel. Which kernel? Linux kernel. Okay, for that I'm talking about the one kernel in Linux world, and another kernel is Windows kernel. There was one more kernel which we had a Nix kernel. From the Nix we got Unix and Mac developed. Okay, so from Nix we got Unix and Mac developed. Then Linus Torvald wrote one more kernel which is called Linux kernel, which is different from the Nix. Now that way Mac is based on the Unix, something like that, closer to Unix. Okay. Now Windows kernel is owned by Microsoft. Now when you say kernel, it's a very small set of files, okay, and libraries. But what they do, because to make the user friendly, they add on top of that lots of utilities and lots of graphics sort of utilities. So that way it's become a big, okay. For example, GUI, calculator, shell, ls, ps, top, this, that. They add so many utilities actually. So we can work efficiently. Others, kernel is just for the input and output, request and response. So now when I say kernel, actually when you say operating system, actually you think kernel plus root file system plus user file system plus application file system coming together. Operating some companies, what they do, they have one kernel On top of that, they write their own root file system. So root file system is equal to Ubuntu, Debian, Fedora, CentOS, RHEL, SUSE, HP, Kali, this, that. So these are the root file system, not a boot file system. Are you getting me what I'm trying to say? These are the flavor of Linux. Different vendor which has become for distributing the Linux operating system. Are you getting my points? Hello? Guys, are you there?
Yes, Raj.
Okay. So now what is happening? Let's look at this image here. What is happening? There is one image which has a 3 layers. Look at this. Always the root file system is at layer 0. Okay. Now that image you can share with multiple containers. That is the reason you were using one image to create a multiple container. That is the reason. You were having multiple containers from the one image. How come? Because of one image which has a multiple layer can be shared across the multiple container. Yes, shared across the multiple container. So let's move on. Look at this. Each layer, how can you identify? That's the question, right? How can you identify these layers? So guys, each layer is having UUID, which is a 40 character SHA-256 unique ID. Using that you can identify. So I think you have seen those IDs actually. Whenever you go to the overlay directories, have you seen those directories, the numbers 1, 2, 5, 4, 6, some random numbers and stuff like that? And the volume also you have seen those. Yeah, so those were the layers actually. I'll show you now. I'll do that clean demo so you will understand. But each layer has a unique ID, and that is using that ID only we can identify those layers. So now guys, request you all to read at least 3 to 4 times this one, because this is very important statement. Okay, please read this and then I will explain it to you. All points carefully. Think also. Okay guys, did you read this? Okay. Now first rule states higher layer always win when there is a conflict in a layer. So when you have a multiple layer, what happens? Understand that. Let me go to the MS Paint and let me help you to understand. See what happens. There is a one layer here. Okay. There is a one layer here. And there is a one other layer here. This layer 0, this layer 1, this layer 2. Now rule states that higher layer always win when there is a conflict in layers. So let's create a conflict. Here there is a one file which is called OPT, and file name is raj.txt. Okay. Same file you have here also, and same file you have here also. Same file. Now what is happening? The content of this file is dev. Content of this file is QA. Content of this file is Docker. Now what is happening here? This all three image layer create one image. Image is just a representation of name, okay? The image is, understand that the very simple logic to understand. Image is just a way to tell you the last layer and their child layer and their child layer. So this is a root file system. Now what happens when you create an image, container, this all layer get merged together. These layers get merged together. This is called merged layer, and then get mounted to user that has a container. That's the reason what I've been telling you. Whatever you have in the image, merged layer, you have inside a container. This is your container. So now, did you understand this, how it works?
Yes. Is there any way that we can change the layer 1 by keeping the layer 0 and 2 same?
Yeah, those are the things you can do that very well. But right now, I will not complicate the situation, because if I little bit talk off the track for customization, you and other people will get confused. So I want to be very simple right now. That everything is possible, sir. Okay. So guys, now apply this rule. First rule, higher layer always win when there is a conflict in layer. So in that rule, tell me, inside a container, inside a opt.raj.txt, what is the string you see? What is the content you see?
Done.
Correct now? So that's you understood very correctly. You will see this content, because this is a higher layer, this is a lower layer. Okay. Now, if you create a container from these two images, then you will see QA. If you create a container from only this layer, then you will see dev. Now, this merge layer is important. You have seen it actually. Many of you will ask from where it has come. You have seen it. I'll show you also in the demo. First, understand this. So now the question you must be having in your mind, who is doing this, all this layering, and who's merging all these things? So guys, this is done by the algorithm called union mount. Okay. So union mount is helping you to merge this layer and get you the union of the mounts done through the for the Docker. So what exactly union mounts can do? Union mount to allow multiple file system. Union mount is doing nothing but allowing multiple file system over top of each other, but combining all of their layers, giving a single view. Single view means, see here, this is a mount, union mount of 3 layers. Now it's got a single view. Everything you got, the content of this, you got in this. This is a single view which has a root file system, an application file system, and boot file system anyways you have in the host machine. Everything you got it. So understand this technology. So single view giving the applications operating system, single, regular, everyday file system. It's not operating system, but it's like operating system. Just feeling is as if like that. Okay. And all layers are read-only except the top layers. What is that? So guys, in this layer, you cannot modify this one, read only. You cannot modify this one, read only. You cannot modify this one, read only. this layer is read and writable. Merge layer is writable. And let me tell you guys one interesting thing. This is your container actually. This is your container. Are you getting my point?
Rajesh, one quick question. The union mounts also does the layering, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so the merged part I am clear, but on the layering part, how is the union mount handling the layering? Which layer to come after which layer? That part.
So that they are using the SHA-256 algorithm for that. SHA-2. I'll show you during the demo. I'll show you. In Git, you know which algorithm they are using? Git. Anyone has got the idea?
The same thing, right? SHA only, right?
But which SHA?
I see this both,
SHA-1.
Yeah, SHA-1.
Yeah.
Container ID and that commit ID seems to be equal length.
Right. So SHA-1 in Git they use, and in a Docker they use the SHA-256.
Oh, 56.
Yeah. So these are the object-based things. In Git also many people think Git is a source code version control tool. No, not at all. Git is not a source control tool. Actually, it's a direct file. Many people, what do you say? File versioning tool. No, it's not a file versioning tool. Git is basically a directory versioning tool, file system versioning tool. Here also you see version 1, version 2, version 3. So, like that. Okay, anyway.
It will then the mapping to the changed file, right?
Yeah, correct. In Docker also, we'll do something similar. Change files only, you create a new layer.
Correct.
Yeah. In Docker also, we do the same thing. But in Git, we call it commit ID, checksum. Here we call it layer. That's the difference we have. Okay, guys, look at this image. So here, if you look at this, you have a boot file system. It's where? Host machine. Root file system, layer 1, layer 2, it's a part of the image. All are locked. When you create a container from that image, you get a writable layer. That's the layer which I was showing you on the MS Paint. That is how the context happens. So guys, you have to little bit study more about the boot file system. You can do it. I have already spent good amount of time about making you understand about the boot file system, root file system, mount file, union mount, and many other things. You will read it, and this is the final anatomy of the Docker image. Look at it very, very carefully. Look at it.
What is invariable layer?
What is that?
Invariable layer.
Sorry, your voice is. Oh, thin writable layer. Okay. Thin writable layer is nothing but a container, no? Merge layer. One per container.
It's a merge layer which will combine all the layers, right?
Yes.
So, the thing is, when it is following an hierarchy low to high, the sense that higher is an upper priority, but the lower file is also similar priority, for example, which is related to some RFS file which shouldn't be overwritten, but the application is overwriting it. How can we overcome those things?
Yeah. So we'll have to create a new layer out of it. So we'll get overwritten. Remember the rule, top layer always win when there is a conflict.
Yes.
So
But in that case, I need the low layer to be.
no problem. You create a
low layer
so you create an image not using the top layer. You create an image using lower layer. I told you, no, you can create from one container you can create from here. One container you can create from here, which includes these two. All three. Depends on you.
Ask the container to create from which layer, Rajesh?
Yes, you can do that. Yes, very well, you can do that. You can create a container from the specific layer. What you need to do, you have to convert that layer into the image. So one simple command is there, and we'll do that.
Where will the metadata get stored, and what are the uses of it apart from the layering information?
All metadata will be stored in the var lib docker, for your information, images directory. Okay, layers will be there in the overlay 2 directory, and metadata will be in images directory. Containers metadata will be in a containers directory under the var lib docker. Everything inside a var lib docker. Okay guys, good. So now demo time. So guys, you have to see demo very carefully, so you'll understand this. This is the doc. Let me prove it. Okay, I'll do the clean demo so you will not get confused. Docker images. Okay, guys, what I have to do is Docker ps. I have only one container. Okay, I'll stop this container, and I am removing this container. Okay, so I stop the container, I remove the container. You see that I have no container. How many images I'm having right now? I have to delete this image. So Docker RMI Ubuntu, done. Docker RMI Jenkins. So guys, everything I cleaned up. That means it is like just a fresh system. No container, no image. I will go to the location which is called var. First I'll do the Docker info. Docker info. What is my root directory? Var lib docker. But the question is where the layers will be stored. Storage driver. What is this? Overlay 2. That means var lib docker overlay 2. Okay, so let's go. Var lib docker overlay 2. See here, volumes will stored here, networking will stored here, layers of the image will stored here, containers meta information will store here. Meta, remember meta I said. Image meta information will be stored here. So let's go inside this. Layers. I need to know layers. Do we have any layers? You can see no layers. Size is 0 byte. Nothing is there. What should I do? Docker pull. What? Ubuntu. Guys, I am looking for Ubuntu image, and the reason is I don't want to show you very large image which has a hundreds of layers or maybe 30 layers. Why? Because you get confused by looking at so many layers. Concept will remain same, which I am showing you with Ubuntu. So I'm pulling. Look at this here now with the specifics. How many layers you have by looking at this? See, 1, 2, 3, 4. See, can I see that? See here, 4 layers. Now, which is the layer which is the heaviest? So I have one trick Linux command, -h, max def is equal to. Which is the heaviest one? This is the root file system, base image, root file system. Can we go inside this? I'm very curious to see what exactly inside diff. Okay, guys, have you seen this one somewhere? Have you seen this one?
Yes.
What is this?
Root file system, right?
It's a root file system. Of what flavor? Which flavor?
Linux.
Ubuntu.
Container.
Even
Yes,
Linux also is there.
Sir, container is coming where? I have not got a container at all. It's a flavor of Ubuntu. There is no boot file system. Boot file system in the host machine. You cannot see it. Only you can feel it. Yeah, you can see the code in the github.com. It's written in C language. Guys, got it? Did you understand that? What is this?
Yeah.
So can I go back? See that some other also. Look at this. Let me check what is there inside. I don't know. We'll check this out. See here. Some changes are there. I don't know. Please note that. Okay. Some files, var, user, etc. You want to check this? Some APK they related. Okay. So this is the layer. Now the question is, how do I know? In easy way, because I have no patience to look and do the queries like that. I just did it for you. So how do I know? Simple command, guys, and you know that. You know that. And the command is inspect. Yes, I said you can inspect the container, you can inspect the image. So you can inspect the volume also. Okay?
In the inspect where it has been mentioned, Rajesh, that is the description of each layers.
What is that?
In the inspect where we can find the description of each layer, what it is.
In inspect,
where we can find the description of each layer, that is what that layer contains of.
got it? Understood?
In this, the first layer will be the topmost layer, right? That is the final version which we are going to use.
Yeah.
Okay.
And one more thing, this number will not match. Don't try to match this number. This is the layer ID and this is the layer directory. Okay. Then now question you must be having, who managed this anatomy? SHA-256. So how can you see that? There is one directory, images, in that it will store. So you will not be able to understand. Correlate immediately.
Rajesh, how do we find out which layer is of which image? Like we had Ubuntu OS, Nginx, and on top of it, a layer, top layer, right? Something like that. Is there a detailed definition somewhere where we can find out?
What is that?
No, it is. He's asking about segregation of layers. I mean classification.
Yeah.
Which layer after which layer?
Yeah.
So where we can get that in?
What is that? Sir, sorry, I think I lost my focus for a few seconds. I was getting one call from the coordinators. Tell me the question.
So how do we find out which layer is from which image? It is a combination of different layers, right? So how do we, because from this naming convention, we are not able to justify which one is root and which one is.
So there's a many ways are there. Inspect command is one of the ways to tell you. Let's say here Do you see the number? This number?
Yes, Rajesh. Yeah.
Yeah. So this number will match. But I don't want to give you too much of confusion to your mind because I don't want to teach you SHA-256. I want to teach you how to create images. So yes, if you look at this number will match. So you can find out how can you do that. But layer IDs are this one. Now, layer ID is managed by SHA-256 in the directory which is image here. Again, see here, layer DB. Here, layer DB, image DB, distribution. Okay, so many things are there. Don't get lost in this concept, otherwise you lose the real topic, how to create image. So, if you have interest to know more about the SHA work, how SHA works, many resources you can read about it. Google will get it. In fact, if you are curious, you can know a little bit of it, not too much. I try to have some content for how Git works, which is related to SHA also. So you can go through this, slicing and all is there. So you can check it out. Okay. So little bit, 500 slides you'll have, but you have to go through this. Okay. Any other questions, guys?
Rajesh, I saw the merge directory also.
Yeah. No, I have not got no. Merge directory will be created only once we create a container, right? I have not created right now.
In the inspect, I saw a merge directory. Can you please enter the inspect area once?
Just a second. I'm going for that. Tell me.
So there are merge directory, upper directory, and work directory.
So what is happening? This is a layer, this is a layer, till diff. Now there is a one layer which is this one. This is the last layer. So last layer has a 3 entries. You see here. This is the base layer. Last layer has 3 entries. In this you have a merge, diff, work. Now the question is, what is a merged, what is a work, and what is a diff? So right now I'll not explain you, but in 10 minutes I'll show you directly. Then you will understand the better way. Okay. So I'll show you that demo.
Okay, Rajesh.
Okay, guys. Next thing is, I got to know my image has a 4 layers. I got to know where it's getting stored. I got to know what it contains. All these things you got to know. How do I know how many times it got committed? Docker history. Yeah. History will tell you commit history, how many times that particular image you got committed. And you interesting thing, guys, each commit you create a 1 layer. Understand that? Again I am repeating. Each commit will create a 1 layer. See that. There's a 4 data layers, 72 MB, this one, this one, this one. And this is the image layer. Okay. 4, 2, dot, dot, dot. So Docker images. See here, it's matching. So that last one is not a layer. What they are doing, they are combining all these 4 layers and putting in the image DB. That's image ID here. So yes, I don't want to tell you too much of things, but yes, this is the things which you need to know for time being. Now the question is, what happens when you create a container? You know that. I will do that. Look at my screen, please. See here. Nothing is mounted. See here. 4 layers. Docker run -itd Ubuntu. Look at the magic, guys. Ubuntu. See here. See here. Look at this number in it. This is not the layer which got created. This is the runtime environment, runtime directory. This is the one which I am talking about. You can see the size of it. Whenever you have curiosity, don't try to search in Google. You know basics of Linux command. Try to find out yourself only. See here. Init one is 8 KB only. The merge layer is 77 MB. That means I clearly said, guys, what happens when you merge that, when you create a container, all layers get merged together and create a one layer, which is here, which is here. Now also I said this layer gets mounted to one user. See, we are a shared container, their user. This user is very special user. They get mounted off everything. See here, what is happening? df-kh. See, mount. See, I showed you before that also. Same thing. Now recollect. See here, last one.
Rajesh, how did you know the first one is a merge layer, the one that is on top of it?
How do you know?
The layer that is displayed on top of init. Did a DU-SSH, right? So you found the 77 MB file.
For time being, I tell you, I got to know because I have only one image, one container. Okay, simple way. But if you want to know, if you have so many containers, if you want to know, you know that command already. Which command, can you help me?
Inspect.
Yes. Inspect. That's all. Inspect will tell you everything about it. Okay. But I'm making you comfortable, so I'm using directly. Okay, so see this mount. Now, ps-eaf grep docker. Same thing which I run first day. See, this is a process with runtime environment. See, runtime environment. They mounted, see here. This is the work directory. And they mounted user with this. That means whatever you have inside this, again I'm repeating, guys. Whatever you have in this, you will stay in the container. Now can I go and check this? Let me see. Guys, this is the one. See, have you seen this one? Now you said no, what is merge, what is work, what is a diff? Guys, let me tell you here. Everything of the layers is directory. Everything in the layer diff directory gets merged together in the merge directory. Anything you write, you will find in the diff directory and merge directory. Remember you said, how come that file getting duplicated? So actually inside a container you are saying this. But what about if you stop the container? Then the file has to be remain same, right? It has to be in the box. Is there in the diff? So you will file the file here and here also. Why here? Because this file will mounted to the container. This file, if you stop the container, that file will be there. For example, let's look at this. This is the container, docker, execute, container, touch, opt, rajesh.txt. Done, guys. Can I search this? Find.name rajesh.
Two entries, right?
Two entries. Yes, you got it. See, guys, here. This is I am seeing in the container. But this is been written. Why? Because if the container is gone, stopped, this will get removed. See, I'll stop the container. You see that? I stop the container. Where is the container ID? Here it is. Merge will get disappeared. Merge, the moment you stop, merge will get disappeared. You see here. df-kh, gone. See here, gone. But again I will restart. I'll start this container. Suddenly it will get appeared, but this time it will merge what? This time it will merge all the previous layer of the particular image and plus diff directory. This diff has rajesh.txt. And you see, again rajesh.txt, you got it 2 times. So that way, even the container is gone, your data is not lost, but container removed, then data is lost. Because if you remove the container, then only the data will be lost. Guys, are you seeing this? How this anatomy works? Guys?
Container ID initialization is like a Git, right? Git also, when
Same concept. Yeah.
When you initiate a new project, it will have hidden file .init. And it will be the underlying, folder structure but it will be.
Both are coming from the same parent. Docker is also same parent, SHA.
Okay.
Git is also SHA. The little bit of algorithms are different. Here we have SHA-256. There we have SHA. So guys, are you understanding this? Everyone? Okay. So let's move on. So guys, I told you all these scenarios of the anatomy of images, so you can understand well. From here, all these commands I run. Probably will try in the offline. So now the question is, how do we create an image? How to create an image? That's the question. Any questions, guys, before we proceed further? Any questions, guys? Hello, are you able to hear me? No, Rajesh, we are good. Okay. Okay, guys. Now let's focus on creating an image. That is the main objective. Okay. This is your main objective. Let's create an image. So how can you create an image? So guys, manual way.
By using data.
Automated way. Manual way using existing container. Automated way using
Data.
Okay. So this is the thing. So first I'll teach you manual way, then I'll teach you automated. So what is a manual way? So manual way is like this. My manager asked me, Rajesh, do one thing. Create an image. Base Ubuntu. It can be anything also. Applications, you should be having Git and Apache too. So I need behavior as if Ubuntu with Git plus Apache. So I said, okay, let me create it. So I'm showing you the demo. I'll do it from scratch. I'll remove this. Docker stop. Docker remove. Full clean environment. See a Docker ps-a. So no container is running. So my boss wants Ubuntu container with this software. So I got Ubuntu container. Now my boss said Git should be there. Now all the commands you run, no, you have to use it. apt-get install git. Package is not there. What do we do?
Check in the repository hub.
Update. Git is there. Yes, why? Why yes? Good. Git is installed. Wonderful. One requirement is done. My manager says Apache should be there in the same container. And you know I'm very lazy. I should have added different layer, but not now. Same layer. Apache 2 also. Yes.
You're installing on your root machine, right? Both Git and Apache.
Container, sir.
So you are inside the container now?
Of course, yes. I'm inside container, sir. See here, where are you?
Oh.
See here. Look at the 5FD.
Okay.
No?
No, first you run that Ubuntu, then did you navigate it to
Attach. I did attach. No?
Oh, sorry. Okay, attach. Attach meaning this is proc
Yeah.
PID one, right?
Yeah.
Your-
Sir, I got this. Which Apache 2? Happy. Which of get? Happy. Control PQ. All command we learn. Docker. See here. This container. Understand the Docker. Yes. This container has Ubuntu base plus Git plus Apache 2. How do I know? Docker. All command you have, you know that. I don't have to teach you. See here, Git. Wonderful. I don't have a Git in the host machine, you see here. But I have inside a container I can enjoy without installing it. Apache 2 also is there. So done. You want to copy files, you can do that. How do I know which are the files has been written? Git, sorry. Git Docker, yes. Git Docker diff and container. Diff command you have used it. See, add. What is this add? These all are Apache files or Git files. Got it?
What does C stands for?
Changed, directory changed. Got it? So guys, this I got it. So here Docker, yes. Docker inspect container. Now you see here, this container also you can inspect. Go up. See here. You should read little bit of with full of concentration. This is the image. Okay. This is the data directory. Okay. So guys, everything is done. What do we do in this case? So now remember again, images. Which image? Ubuntu. How many layers are there? Docker, history. How many commits are there? Here. History. See here. This is the last commit ID. So can I create one image from this container? You see here. This container I am creating image. How? Docker commit. Why you want to commit? Give me the message. It has Ubuntu plus update plus get plus Apache. I'll give you the right message. Okay. Who are you? My name is Rajesh Kumar. Okay. Which container you want to commit? I want to commit this container. What's the image name you want to give it? I will duplicate the name with this one only. See guys, forget the container those. Not needed container anymore because requirement was to create an image. Do you have image or not? See, can I do one thing? Docker history. See here. Till here is Ubuntu. This has a update plus a get plus Apache. How much size of that particular layer? 177. This image I got it, guys. I can give it to anyone, including my manager who has asked me for doing this one, and he will do run and get the Ubuntu behavior flavor plus Git plus Apache 2. Now it's up to you to visualize what can you have in that image. So did you understand the process image creation process?
But still it won't available in public data, right?
It will be available, sir. I'm not sharing right now. I have created, just give me some more time. I'll share with you also. My image.
If you push, then it will be, right?
Yes, you got it. I have to push it to the registry inside the repository.
Instead of creating...
Can I create one container from this? Docker run -itd. Where is that image? Oh, he's here. See, 1 and you see here Docker ps. See here, this container execute. See, that is that. So guys, this is the way we create an image. Whatever you want to do inside a container, do it, commit. That's all. Now the question you must be asking, what can I do? How do I know what you want to do? You want to install Apache, Java, JRE, this, that. You want to copy some file, you want to delete some file, you want to change some files. How do I know? It's your applications. You know that more than me. Once you are done with the changes inside a container, commit to that container, you get the image. Simple.
But again, here we need to check for memory restrictions. We need to consider that.
Which memory, sir? Memory is consumed when you run a container. Not image is a static file. You don't need a memory for static file, no?
And immediately, as much as possible, I can install Apache, LabLog.
Whatever I said. I never said you can only run 5 commands. You can run 5,000 commands and commit in one go. Yes, your layer will be too big. There is some best practices to be followed to avoid such scenarios.
Yeah, but immediately memory won't be an issue.
No. Yeah, tell me.
created VAR or jar file, right, from our workspace, that one also will be converted into a Docker image?
Yes, why not?
Because here we are saying,
Yes, yes. You have to copy Docker CP command, you know that, right? You did it, right?
yeah.
Docker CP command
Yes.
you did, whether you can download from the internet or some public website or some FTP, you know that. Everything you know. Inside a container, the experience is just like operating system.
Okay. Anything should be converted to the Docker image then.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, hey, anything. Whatever you want to runtime environment, just for you should not keep it everything. You should keep it only those things which you need it for the runtime environment, application runtime environment.
It's like a skeleton image, right? It is don't raise the memory won't be an issue, right? It
Yeah.
don't have any real thing, but package of what we need.
Application runtime, sir. Whatever, see, application runtime. Whenever you install any application, what are the things you need? You need Tomcat, Java, JRE, JDK, environment variable, some user to be created, some path to be set, some jar file to be there. All these things you can do that. Got it?
Yeah. But actual memory will come into picture only when you
Runtime.
create a container.
Runtime, yes, container.
At that time, it will be a manifest.
It's just a static file, sir.
A manifest, yeah.
Okay, guys. So now what I have done, I have told you all these commands. I showed you the demo. What is anatomy of image, and then how to create an image. For this, I would request you all to go through that, spend as much time you do that. I'll give you 30 minutes for this to go through all these things, commands which I tried, and to create an image. After that, I will teach you how to share an image before creating an image using automated.
If you liked our Docker session so far, please enroll our general membership for $399 plan to get access of all the parts.
Along with that, you can access our other tutorials such as Docker, Ansible, Jenkins, Terraform, Splunk, AWS, Azure, and various other DevOps related premium tutorials with our channel membership. If you would have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video. To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the $399 plan and grow your skills immensely.
Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest.
Thanks for watching.